Well, good evening or good morning, everyone. Whatever time we're in right now, welcome back to the channel. So, felt up to doing a quick live stream here to talk about our favorite YieldMax funds. So, we've seen a big set of drops in the last 2 days here. So, wanted to discuss whether or not this was cause for concern or if we should just back the truck up and buy more. So, let's see how many of you all we get on here. And depending on how that goes, we will either have a quick one or we'll go a little bit longer. So let's first start out going over the performance of our funds today. Oh, at least we got one of you on. That's good. I see one of you. So wasn't going to live stream, but just kind of felt up to it. Oh, you must be the one. Welcome. Yeah, kind of random. I wasn't going to do it, but then I felt up to it. Yeah, it just went live. Like I said, it was kind of unannounced, but I'm on. So, all right, here we go. Oh, 5 of you. The word gets out quick. All right, so let's go and look at something here. Let's look at, try the suggestion here, NASDAQ.com first, because we didn't do much of a screen share yesterday. So let's try this one. Am I sure? I mean, how sure can I be? I'm live right now. All right, so let's share our screen here. NASDAQ.com, let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely AI. Don't tell anybody though. Elon Musk invented me. Okay, let's see what we got here. So it's weird because Tesla beat earnings, but they've been dropping. So it seems like a good buying opportunity, but I have to get pre-clearance. So I haven't gotten that this week. So let's see here. Want to look up. Someone told me to use NASDAQ. We'll try it out briefly, but we won't stay on it too long if it doesn't suit our needs here. Let's see here. Come on. TSLA. Go over this one first. So we're down about 11% in TSLY, and we're down in a little bit in NVIDIA or NVDY, and we're down in OARK too. So for TSLY, we're at 1652. Now I bought more of it today. Unfortunately, I can't be like some of you all where I sold at the peak and then bought at the low point. That's pretty awesome for those of you that did that, but I wasn't one, unfortunately. Okay, we don't want to look at this. All right, this site's not really cooperating with me here. So let me just go to Seeking Alpha, and we will seek some alpha as the joke goes. Let's see how many of you all we have on here. Okay, 9 of you. All right. You rascal, you. That's funny. Oh, look, see, it wants to sell me a plan on Seeking Alpha. Bought 120 more shares 5 minutes before market close today. Was that the low point for it? Let's see. No, actually, the low point was at 11 a.m., 1635. We're up in the after hours again to 1676. So that's good, at least. Okay. So let's look at this for a second here. And then let me see here. Okay. All right. So Seeking Alpha. Let's see. Yeah, I shaved today. That's probably hence the AI look. All right. TSLY. TSLY. Let's see. 1652 down 28 cents or 1.67%. And then again, we're up in the after hours, but just want to see what you all think. Is this cause for concern, or does this mean just keep buying? Now look at this here, not to plug Seeking Alpha, but returns for Seeking Alpha are up this much versus S&P 500. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so by the way, I announced yesterday we're going to have Jay back on August 15th. I'll probably go ahead and do a community post so that you all can start coming up with your questions and whatnot. So that's TSLY. Let's look at Tesla. So Tesla, I believe, beat earnings, but for whatever reason, it's been dropping. So maybe the earnings beat wasn't quite enough. We're down to actually 260, and we're below that. We're at 258 right now, actually, in the after hours. So could be a good buying point. But I don't know. Some of you on here yesterday were saying that it could drop to like $100 a share if you do the fair valuation. So, all right. Well, hope everybody's had a good start to their weekend so far. Let's check the comments again here. Oh, my internet's running a little slow now. Come on. Okay, let's see. Oh, 14 of you. Look at that. For an unannounced, we got 14. Time to double down and buy more, you think? Just keep buying and buy the dip? We'll see. Okay, so that's Tesla. Let's look at the other two. Let's see here. Okay, so NVDY, which I haven't bought yet. Because, like I say, if I can get the dividend for TSLY for a lower price and a higher dividend, then why buy something for a higher price with a lower dividend, right? So, all right, let me see here. I'm going to try to call. Andre might join us for a little while, kind of burst you all's bubble about these YieldMax funds, because we definitely have a kind of a difference of opinion on these. Let's see. Okay, so NVDY was down to 2262 today. Over the last, actually, let's look at 5 days here. And let's see what we got. So since the 19th or since the 18th, we're down a couple bucks almost, or $1.50 or so. So that's that. OARK. Let's see where we are. So Kathy Wood today predicted that that Tesla would go up over $2,000 by 2027. So that would be golden for us if that happens. And plus, her fund is invested heavily in Tesla, so that would be good for this fund as well. So 1696. So it's officially more expensive than TSLY. So let's see. Since July 5th, well, we haven't fluctuated too much actually. We're only down like 30 cents or so. That's not too bad. So, all right, I'm gonna probably go to Yahoo Finance here and check some things out. 1021. So you're on the West Coast. I take it 95 degrees. Are you like in Vegas? I remember landing after midnight there one time, and it was like in the 90s. And as soon as the door to the plane opened, it felt like just a crazy desert heat. And I was like, I couldn't believe this in the middle of the night. It's this hot. Oh, Ghosts and Cars is on. NVDY is almost at its 20-day bottom cycle. I think it was. It sure would have been nice buying NVIDIA stock. Oh, Central California. So how far are you from LA? So I'm going to be out in LA in like 10 days or so. So there's a few of you that live out there, but Central California sounds like you're more upstate. But yeah, a lot of California people on here. All right. So, all right, I'm going to go to Yahoo Finance here. And let's see. Let's see here. All right, so stop this share, and then we will go to Yahoo. And okay. All right. Let me pull up another tab here. All right. Try not to read the headlines here. They just kicked me off. Oh, wait, not yahoo.com. Yahoo Finance. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we got some new funds to look at, like the Chat GPT fund. The headline says, the next stage of the U.S. economy is unspectacular growth. Just what we want to hear, huh? All right, let's share this screen. And 3 hours from LA. Well, that sucks. The center of the state, huh? Do you do futures? No, I want to. In the future, I'll do futures. Well, if you count Beto, so if you've read the description for Beto, it trades the futures for Bitcoin. So I guess by default, I do some futures because of that, because that is trading Bitcoin futures. So, okay. All right. Now onto Yahoo Finance. All roads end up leading back to Yahoo Finance one way or another, even though we haven't been on it in a while. Well, 21 of you on. Cool. Okay. So let's look at this real quick since I have it up here. The chat fund, I think Chat GPT. And let's see how we're doing here. So this one is called Title Trust 2 Roundhill Generative AI and Technology ETF. And this is by Roundhill. So I think that's competition for YieldMax. So let's look here. I believe this just went May 18th. It just went public. So we're up about $4 a share. Does anybody know if this one is going to pay a dividend or not? I see we're up 86 cents in the after hours. So I don't think it's announced any dividends yet, but we will check and see. I just found out about this one from you all. Let me see something here. I'll try to call Andre here. Okay, so no dividends yet. So we'll go back home. Let's see. Okay, now we'll look at Beto. So Beto is at 1595, so it hasn't moved too much in a day. We were, let's see, we peaked at like 16 or 1742 on June June 23rd. Year-to-date total return is still 75%. The yield is 9.18%. And we got our customary pharmaceutical ads over here to the side. One of my favorite things about Yahoo Finance. Okay, so that's that. So I got some of this. I got some RIOT, Mara. I'll look at these since I'm on Yahoo here, and then we'll look at the Tesla earnings. So RIOT is down to 1838. I think I'm officially in the red on this, hence the red shirt. I got options on this, actually. I'm trying to play the upside of, we're seeing a rebound in crypto, especially Bitcoin. So my goal is to try to capture some of that upside. Oh, excuse me. So, oh, he's calling back. Hey. So,
I got my munchkins next to me.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know if you were still out or not.
I'm out.
Okay. No, I just started a live stream. I wasn't going to do one, but
did you see how much that dip was? It was like down to the exact price I called it for.
The gap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna gap down lower.
Oh yeah. Well, we have a bunch of YieldMax fans on, so maybe set them straight.
I mean, it's like what's that? I would say like 60% done with the spreadsheet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So let me tell them. So he's coming up with a spreadsheet where he's going to show like how much he thinks it's going to drop. Is that right?
Yeah, and all high yield funds like these, like they're not the same thing. I mean, sorry, they're very similar to high yield dividend funds and what they do.
Yeah,
and they typically all go one direction.
Right.
Down.
Right.
And I know often we had the discussion about that YouTube channel about it. Is that portfolio? If you look at that YouTuber, he can't even withdraw 1/4 of his account.
Oh, because of the margin.
Yeah, and it's so bad. Any market dip down can wipe his account. Like it just. I understand that you guys are making money. I'm happy you guys are making money, but
in the short term,
yeah, long term, I think if they don't take profits, it's gonna keep gapping down lower because if you read YieldMax's PDF about how they manage their positions, they have to be net short for a lot of it, or I'm sorry, more, mainly put options.
We'll be sure. We'll be sure to ask Jay about that when he comes back on.
Yeah, I mean, and it's obvious. Remember, even before we had this call, I told him it has to gap down. It has to, because they put their orders in 1 to 2 days prior to the declaration date for the liquidity to fill.
We're talking about TSLY, right?
Yeah, TSLY. It had to gap down because of liquidity issues.
Right.
There's no other big players in TSLY. There's no BlackRock. There's no Vanguard. So we know that it's house money controlling where they put their puts at.
Do you think there will be institutional money at some point?
It's too dangerous.
Really?
There's no point for a big institution to get into it unless they're doing a capital gains trade. But then you have to ask, okay, just say YieldMax's entire if you measure all like their entire market value for TSLY, just say it's $1 million. A big player couldn't enter in at any large amount because they would own the entire market and they couldn't get out.
Okay.
So it would be, unless they did something like this, unless they constructed a plan with YieldMax and tell them like, hey, where's your guys' liquidity issues? Where are the majority of these people buying? Can you can you guys put the market at a lower price? Because remember, YieldMax can control the options price. They can control exactly where it goes.
Explain that again.
So if they do a large enough dividend payout, right?
Yeah.
Where does that extra cash come from? Straight off the dividend payout, right?
You could save hundreds a year on groceries by shopping at Aldi. No sales or coupons.
Right.
So if they said, hey, let's do $1 next month or $2, right? Everyone and their mother is going to jump in, right?
Yeah.
So that's the liquidity that they need. They'll push it down, giving them the spread that they can cover for their short or put position.
Okay.
Allowing either themselves to get in more or a bigger player to get in. If a bigger player gets in, that's even more dangerous. Because I mean, I wish I'm out and about right now. If I showed you my checklist, on my spreadsheets, they're all doing the same thing. Every single company, different CEOs, different managers, all they're doing is they're making money off of what? The transactions of people buying the stock or buying the shares, them getting fees intermittently. And then I'm like, this way of this business model, it doesn't matter if the stock price goes up or down. It just matters if they can collect the fee. So when I was reading the YieldMax perspective, like what they are, it's just, if I have to look at it, it's like they're yield farming. They're only going for fees.
Okay. Yeah, when you have that spreadsheet done, we'll have you back on and we'll go over that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, what's a better guarantee? Out trading the market, or who cares where the market direction goes? Because it doesn't affect you. We'll just make money off of fees continuously. Yeah.
Well, August 15th, we're having him back on, so we'll pick his brain on that at least.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to ask him, like, what are you guys' position? Why is it that every single time prior to the ex-dividend dates even called out, prior to you guys even disclosing your, because they already know what they have a good they have a good feeling what their dividend payout's going to be. If they already know all this, they can set their put positions or even short positions as a limit order. That means they're already measuring out where everyone else is going to buy because they know the volume of buyers on certain days.
Yeah.
Like, if we just measure day by day throughout the entire TSLY, we can start measuring when the probability is higher for the highest activity. Okay. If the declaration day is, just say, I don't know, the 10th of August, right? Payment date is the 20th of August. Cool. Ex-dividend date is the 15th. Let's make it 5 different days, right?
Yeah.
Well, how many people are going to wait to the last minute to buy before the 15th of August?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
we'll say like 20% do or 50% does. But based on their volume, we can figure out who's buying it. If I'm YieldMax, I can look and individually like, okay, we know that these amount of people buy, and if the dividend is at $1, we know there's a good probability that the returning customers are going to re-put in the money.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they haven't took profits home.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's actually kind of interesting about YieldMax. Even if you guys are paid on the dividend and you still don't pull out your money, you still do the taxes.
Yeah, that's the downside of dividend investing.
Yeah, and I know most people are not investing out of trust. They're just basically doing it right out of their own Social Security number, basically.
Yeah. True.
Like, if they just looked at it and they said, hey, 2 days ago or last week, they put in a short position, right? And I called my broker about it. And I'm like, hey, can you guys add YieldMax to my tradable assets?
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do, because typically I'm just going to start shorting everything I'm saying. I'm just going to keep shorting it. As you guys buy, I'll start placing shorts.
And you were saying basically by shorting it, you can make more than what the dividend is paying.
And not just more, it's faster. Because every big push down, you're talking about what, 5-10% down in one day.
Yeah.
And people say, like, that's the dividend payout. Well, that is partly true, but it keeps going lower each time.
Oh, someone asked, what do you mean by not collecting the dividend?
What happens if I don't collect the dividend?
No, he asked, what do you mean by not collecting the dividend?
Give me a second. You mean if I enter it on a normal position is to buy, not to collect the dividend? I
think maybe.
The only way to not collect the dividend is to close the position prior to the ex-dividend date.
Mm-hmm.
So if they buy the stock any day prior to the ex-dividend date, or say they buy and sell the stock prior to the ex-dividend date, all they're looking at is short-term capital gains.
Mm-hmm.
Short-term capital gains is spending your mets what, like 18 to 25% maybe, depending on how much you put in there.
It's going to be at your ordinary income tax rate.
Yeah, pretty close to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something like, yeah, you can do that. I mean, TSLY is pretty volatile.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, especially if you're on margin, which I would prefer being on margin than not being on margin when it comes to stocks. But when it comes to dividend stocks, maybe less margin. Maybe none at all. It really depends on the volatility. But for high dividend yields, so far my data is concluding short either the first or second month of every single high yield put out there, because they typically all go one direction.
Mm-hmm.
And we agreed that anything that's high yield is anything above 10%.
Yep.
And that's what I have my Excel spreadsheet, so Google spreadsheet based on it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing that soon.
Yeah, and then hopefully once I finish my 8-hour video, I'll be posting the YieldMax reviews.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that should help the channel for sure.
Yeah. Have you guys actually
went through what?
Have you guys ever went through the YieldMax? What's in not in the portfolio, but what they actually call as assets? Because I think that we talked about it all over the phone, but
I've looked at just their options positions. That's mainly it.
Yeah. Yeah, that they're a synthetic of a synthetic.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That was like 2007, 2008 all over again.
Oh, you told me. Yeah, derivative of a derivative. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. But anyway.
I gotta go. I gotta go back
to
the joint right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
See you guys maybe next week.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. We already got the. Okay, sounds good. Yep. All right. Bye. All right. I figured I'd let him ruffle you all's feathers for about 10 minutes or so. Hopefully, a lot of that doesn't happen. I mean, I'm in these funds. I've actually bought more today. So, it's either brilliant or stupid, right? Let's see here. He's been on before. He does not strike me as ultra wealthy. Well, not as wealthy as you, Jen. But I don't know if we want to get into revealing our net worths on here. I don't know. Maybe start with you. Who is in the $1 million club on here? How about that? I will say, it's funny. So I'm on my Facebook chats here. I keep having these dating coaches that reach out to me, and guess what they tell me? When I tell them my story, they say, "Oh, I have the same thing happen to me." So I'm like, "Well, how are you a dating coach then?" I guess I'm a dating coach then, by default. Um, so this person says, "I'm not here to sell you anything. I only want to work with the right people." Well, you charge fees for your product or whatever you're selling. So by definition, what is that? That's selling, right? So yeah, people are something else. All right, let's get back to comments here. They hold a synthetic long position. Next time he's on, engineer, I want you on too. Like, I want to have a really robust debate on this. Because he's smart, you're smart, we're all smart, we all have different opinions. I don't quite agree with everything, but, like, I don't think, like I've said before, in the real economy, maybe the dollar should be worthless, but they're not going to allow that to happen. So you got to play the game while you can. Well, I mean, one is a fund manager, one's not. Maybe join Jen. We'll have you on. You can grill him. We can have a kind of like you did with Daryl. That day. I haven't seen him comment in a while either. I think when one of you's on, like the other one is quiet because he's been on when you weren't on before, and it's kind of funny. Like you all are like kind of that debate stands firmly in your minds, I guess. So there can be a fine line between genius and hard. That's true, yeah. Especially when it comes to trading. I've been each on several occasions. Well, it's like somebody that's like very autistic. There's a spectrum, right? You can either be a genius or you can be a little off sometimes. I mean, hey, it happens to me too. You get me going on some of my rants, you'll think I'm that way too. We can make dollars whether anything goes up or down. That's true, especially you, Join Jen, because you sold at like 18 and then you got back in at 16.50. That was brilliant. I wish I would have done that. Are you on the Discord, by the way? Let's see. I like Andre's opinion and point of view. Love TSLY, but good to have him here for sure. Yeah, I just wanted him to ruffle you all's feathers, on the YieldMax stuff, because this channel, I feel like, is mostly YieldMax fanboys and girls, at least two of you. But yeah, I just figured, that would be good, for 10 minutes or so. And he's working on a spreadsheet to prove his points. So let's see. Oh, before then, I was talking about Mara, Beto, and then Maxi, I don't know about, but I'll have to look into this one. But I think the other one is RIOT, the blockchain one. So let me look into that. Probably won't go too long. We're almost at 2 a.m. on the East Coast here, or the western part of the East Coast, because I'm in Florida. Anybody like my shirt, by the way? I haven't gotten any comments. We were down on our fund, so red shirt, right? All right. So let's see. All right, let me look up. Let's see. I was on TSLY. Okay, so we talked about that. Mara. I got some options in this one. This is Marathon Digital Holdings. 1688 down in the after hours. 1675. Let's see. Okay. Random question. Anybody know what time McDonald's starts serving breakfast? Might have to hit them up. I've become quite the night owl lately. So, all right, let's see. So we were, this is just one day, a lot of fluctuation in a day. I got some options on these. I'm trying to capture the upside of the Bitcoin halving coming up. So, all right, we lost about 250 or more since July 13th. In this one, no metrics for like year to date. So, all right, let's go. But we are up, like, if I go to my phone, we are up like 400% in one of these. So let's see, this is Mara. So we're up in this one. Yeah, 400%. Called it correctly. RIOT, which we'll look at next. We're up 445%. Wow. And then what's the one that the doctor here, the guy with Chris with all the credentials here? Let me see here. What was you're a physical therapist, right? I said doctor, but you're physical. Oh, look at this. 6 a.m. No, they start earlier for breakfast. I want to say they start at like 4 a.m. You know what they've had to do here because of the loitering, such a big problem? They close the inside at like midnight, which is kind of annoying because I wouldn't mind going in, like I wish places were like open 24 hours because I wouldn't mind eating something at like 3 in the morning sometimes, you know? I've made, let's see, I've made and lost 2 fortunes, once within 3 weeks, the other within 1 week. How old are you? You don't strike me like as being that old, but, interesting. Hey, I've had some stocks go bankrupt too, but, for the most part, I've done well enough to recover, you know? So that's a good thing. Engineer, I have a working microphone but no camera because I refuse to own a laptop. Really? And use a big screen TV. Oh, I was just saying to be on the live stream, like, be on commenting. But if you want, you're welcome to come on and just be on audio only if you want. You can do that. Certainly. Really? For some reason you struck me like as a younger person, like 30s or something. But interesting. Okay. Not that 40s is that old, 40 is the new 30, right? Okay. Oh, Maxi. Maxi was the other one. All right, let's look at that one, and then we'll probably call it in another couple minutes here. Still on a dry streak for super chats here. Kind of stunned. All right. Let's look up Maxi. Should be a big return, right? Maxi. The urge for something sweet, like something breakfasty. Okay, so, this is Simplify Bitcoin Strategy Plus. Ooh. You all come up with such good funds. Like I said, I learned too. So, all right, let me add this one to the ever-growing list here. So Maxi, 1769. Oh, 69%. Oh, there's that 69 again. Since the beginning of the year. And I assume since this is an ETF, it's optionable too, but we're not quite capturing as much upside as the Mara or the RIOT. So got to keep that in mind. All right. So let's look up that one next. And then talk for a few more minutes here and then probably call it. All right, so 1838. I looked this one up on the phone already, but just want a visual. By the way, just a reminder again, those of you in California, you want to meet up with a coach. We're going to have a coach meet up, at least with one of you. And that should be fun. But anyone that's out there in the LA area is welcome to join the sweepstakes for meeting the coach. So that'll be probably the first week of August. Probably, let's see. Probably the 4th to the 7th, maybe. And if anybody happens to have spare space or spare rooms or anything like that, that always helps because, unfortunately, my great friends out there don't have space for me. So go figure. But, it's always worth a shot in the dark, right? Okay, so RIOT is up, like I said, 445%, I think. So you can see this one straight up here. This probably wasn't the best time to buy because it's close to the peak. You see the run up here next to the Fidelity orange over here. Oh, that looks so good. So 1154. So we almost doubled. Wow, I probably shouldn't have bought at that point. Anyway, and the market overall today. So the Dow was up 251. The Nasdaq was down 30. Russell was down 7, and I believe I got back into the TQQQ. Let me see. It was either that one or TSLL. For some reason, I get those mixed up. TQQQ, let's see. Oh, no, it was TSLL, and I'm down in it. Dang. I should get back into TQQQ. Anytime the NASDAQ drops for a couple days in a row, I should get back into it. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's see if anybody has a nice super chat or something for me. By the way, when we have Jay on, I think for you all to get your comments read, you're going to have to cough up some super chats for that one because we're going to be, the video with Jay has like 4,500 views from the last time. So it's going to be in high demand. So just be prepared to cough up some super chats for that one if you want an audience with Jay. All right, let's see here. I got that dog in me, YOLO. Cool. TSLY pays my air conditioning bill. Nice. 107 today, and really? Oh, and electricity. Newsom has you all paying a lot of money out there in electricity because my cousin, she lives north of Sacramento in the Redding area. At EZC, 368 this month. God, that's insane. It's like extortion. I don't know how people do it. Bubble has a picture of a turtle. Okay, not sure what that means, but that's cool. Anyway, all right. So I think we're gonna call it there, unless anybody else has anything super compelling other than a picture of a turtle. We got a wow from EZC. Got a few new people on. I think every live stream we get more new people on. So let's see how that sub count is doing here. That sub count's becoming a super count. Let's see here. And I guess it's too late for some of you. Expired contract need to renew. So we're at 2,085. So we're rolling. We got to get to 3,000. Next stop 3,000, like I say. So, all right, you all. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I guess we're all holding steady with our YieldMax. So hang in there and take care. Have a good rest of your weekend. Might be on again. We'll see. So, all right, take care.